morning and welcome to your English warm-up activity for Tuesday the 19th of January. So you'll need a pen, pencil and piece of paper for this activity. Now I have a sentence here. Speedily, Superman flew out of the city as he had heard there was an emergency. I would like you to spot and write down the nouns in this sentence, and I can spot 3 of them. Stop the video while you write those down. Did you spot Superman, city and emergency? What's the difference between Superman as a noun and city and emergency as nouns? Well, Superman is a proper noun because it has a capital letter because it is the name of somebody. City and emergency are common nouns. Right, back to the original sentence. Can you spot the verbs in this sentence? And I have spotted 2. Stop the video while you write the verbs down. So I spotted flew and had heard. Now back to the original sentence. Can you spot the adverb? This is a word that tells us more about the verb. Stop the video and write it down. The adverb in this sentence is speedily because it tells us how Superman flew out of the city. Okay, your next challenge is to spot the conjunction. Now this sentence has 2 parts and they are linked by a word. Can you spot that word and write it down? The conjunction here is the word as. It links this part of the sentence to this part of the sentence. Now the last challenge is a little bit tricky. This sentence has 2 clauses, a main clause and a subordinate clause. The main clause makes sense on its own. The subordinate clause doesn't make sense on its own. Can you stop the video and write down the main and the subordinate clauses? Speedily, Superman flew out of the city. That's the main clause. You could put a full stop here. It would make sense on its own. However, this part of the sentence, as he had heard there was an emergency, is a subordinate clause. It has to be linked to a main clause. It doesn't make sense on its own. Right, let's go back to our first sentence. Now we're going to take this first sentence and we're going to edit it. We're going to change lots of the words in this sentence. So what I suggest you do is you write this out on your paper, but write it so that you've got lots of space between the words because you're going to change them for different words. And this will save you having to keep writing out the sentence. If you've got space, you'll be able to cross out a word and replace it with another one. Sentence. So the first thing I'd like you to change is the adverb speedily. Can you replace that with a different adverb? And here's my idea. I've changed speedily to nervously. Write your new sentence out, replacing the adverb. The next word we're going to change is the subject of the sentence, which is Superman. So you need to take Superman out and replace it. It could be another proper noun, could be you, could be someone you know, or it could be a common noun. It could be the teacher, the footballer, anything you like. I have replaced Superman with the Queen. My sentence now reads, nervously, the Queen flew out of the city as she had heard there was an emergency. Stop the video while you make alterations to your sentence. Next, I would like you to replace the verb, the first verb here, flew. Here is my example. I've got now nervously the Queen tiptoed out of the city. Stop the video while you edit your sentence. Now, the next part of the sentence I would like you to change is this noun here. Okay, I've got the Queen tiptoed out of the city. Where could the Queen have tiptoed out of? I'm going to change that noun for disco. So I've changed city to disco. Stop the tape while you edit your sentence. And finally, I would like you to replace this conjunction and the whole of this subordinate clause. So I have nervously the Queen tiptoed out of the disco. I have now got to add a subordinate conjunction and a subordinate clause that's different from the one that's there. So let me show you my example. Nervously, the Queen tiptoed out of the disco because she hadn't enjoyed the loud music, but she didn't want to upset the DJ. I've replaced everything after the word disco. I would love to see your new sentences, so please write them down and send me them on Seesaw. When you finish the warm-up, you need to head over to Google Classroom, where you will find a reading comprehension today, and it continues our theme of doors. You'll also find the questions on a second document, and there are 8 of them. Good luck.